and welcome everyone to day number 5. Now, a lot of people, among the 58 people, a part of our starting group, decided to wake up at 11 p.m. and start hiking up at 12 a.m. I decided that it would be best for us to wake up at 12 a.m. and leave by 1 a.m. And the reason behind that is that it's 5 kilometers all the way up to Ahura Summit, and which is where we're going. It's about a 4,000-foot elevation climb. So even at 1 kilometer an hour, we'll get up there by 6 a.m. Now the sun rises here at around, I want to say about 6 to 6:30 in that time frame. So a lot of the fast people who left at 12 a.m., they're going to get up there and they're going to be sitting around for about an hour until the sun rises in the freezing cold. So, so that's the reason why I decided to head out an hour later. Also gave me some time to sleep for an hour longer. And so right now we are about an hour, give or take, over or under by about 5 minutes into the hike right now. And we're close to the first camp. And then, after that, it shouldn't be too much longer until we get to Stella Peak. And then from there, it'll just be a 0.7 kilometer stroll all the way over to Ahura Summit. So, finally arrived. After 5 days, we've reached the summit of Ahura, the highest peak in Africa, on Mount Kilimanjaro. It's a hell of a feeling. Not really sure who my guide is, but it's pretty amazing. Words can barely describe how it feels. Glide down now. Okay, so we ended up getting up to the top of the Ahura Summit around 6:30 a.m. and then descended very quickly. Got back to the base camp at about 8 o'clock, give or take. So an extremely quick descent. And now for the surprise that we were talking about yesterday, we're going to be heading on down to the Mweka Gate. That's about a 10-mile hike from here to there, but it's all downhill for the most part, so it should be pretty easy to do. So, pretty excited about today. Achieved a lot. It was fun. So let's see what else the mountain has to offer as we descend. So we're about an hour into the hike right now, maybe a little bit less. And since we left the base camp, which has an elevation of 15,500 feet, give or take, right now we, what looks like, are leaving the desert climate zone. If not, we've already left. And right now we're in an elevation of about 13,410 feet. So we're gonna keep on trekking along, see what we can see, all the interesting things and the changes in the climate zones. Put it into perspective, when we started today at about 1 a.m. We were at base camp, and then we ascended all the way up to the Ahura Summit, which is at about 19,250 something feet and change. And since then, I've already descended about 5 4,000 feet, give or take. So, yeah, somewhere in that range. No, 6,000 feet. But yeah, so we're gonna keep trekking along. I believe my GPS said from base camp to the Moeka Gates, it was about a little over 10 miles. That's as far as the crow flies. So yeah, so shouldn't be too long, about a 4-hour hike, give or take, down to the Moeka Gates. I think that's at about 4,000 or 5,000 feet of an elevation. So yeah, shouldn't be too bad of a hike. Just a matter of going downhill and letting gravity do the rest. So we just arrived at the Highland campsite. From here, it's about a little bit more than 13 kilometers to the Moeka Gate. Yeah, right now we're in a moorland vegetation zone. So it's quite different from the desert that we started today in. But for now, we'll keep trekking on and hopefully reach the Moeka Gate in the next hour or two. So we're now about at a elevation of 8,700, and behind me we can see that I finally come back to a rainforest-like climate zone. So yeah, haven't seen one of these since the first day of the hike, so it's pretty cool to be able to see it again. And yeah, so we have about another a little more than 3,000, an elevation of 3,000 more feet to descend to before we get to the Moeka Gates. And then from there, just catching a ride over to the hotel, which I'll be staying for the night, and then trying to figure out what the game plan is going to be for tomorrow. My preparation is to head on over to a wildlife reserve over in Kenya to take a look at some of the animals over there, and to also check off another country on my list of countries to have visited. So that might not necessarily be possible, given that from what I've read, Kenya does require a minimum of 2 days processing time for visas. So that might not be in the cards this time around. So if it's not, then I'll have to figure out what other fun and exciting things I might choose to do. Okay, finally arrived at the Moeka Gates, and we're finished! Yes, we are finished. Yes, I was offered a car ride to the gates, and I just said hell no to that. I'm gonna walk out of here the same way that I entered. So, yeah. That was some fun shit.
Hello and welcome everyone. So about 2 days ago I had finished hiking up to the summit of Ahura Peak on Mount Kilimanjaro. Initially my hike was planned for 6 days and 5 nights, though I was able to summit on day number 5 and hike back down to the Moeka Gates on day number 5 as well, which gave me one additional day to actually explore Tanzania, which I did not initially plan to do. So because of that, I was able to go over to the Chaka historical site, which was pretty cool to actually see, because the Chaka tribes had built a tunnel, an underground cave to house about 62 different rooms to help protect the tribe from invaders who had come from the south. So anyways, that was pretty cool to actually go down and see the caves. Yeah, you wouldn't normally expect there to be a cave in that area unless somebody actually had to point it out. So that was pretty cool to do. And they also had a coffee plantation there as well. So for somebody who loves coffee like myself, I was just in nerd heaven there. In addition to that, I was able to roast my own coffee beans. I also grind them and make my own, enjoy the coffee as well. So that was fun to do. Then ended up going to downtown Moshi to do some gift shopping. So that was essentially the additional day that I didn't initially have planned, but I was able to get because I hiked down Mount Kilimanjaro on the same day that I summited. So overall, that is the trip. Today I woke up at about 2 a.m. to catch a ride over to Kilimanjaro Airport, where I'll be catching a 6 a.m. flight to Istanbul, Turkey, and then I believe that is a 8 to 10 hour flight, somewhere in that range. And then I will be catching a flight all the way to Boston. So that'll be an 11-hour flight, and overall, I leave about 6 a.m., get into Boston at 6:30ish p.m. So that'll be pretty fun. Hopefully I can get some sleep on the plane. But before I headed off, I did want to say thank you guys for joining me on this journey, and I hope that you enjoyed the videos and the content and the vlog that I was able to provide during my time hiking up Kilimanjaro. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a question or a comment below. And I would also ask that if you guys did enjoy these videos, that you also like each of the videos as well and click subscribe. Please click subscribe. Without your subscriptions, it'll be harder for other people who are looking for videos on climbing or hiking up Kilimanjaro's one of their 3 peaks. When they search for it as well, because the more subscribers that you have, the higher up in the search list that these videos will appear. Also with likes as well. So please do like them. I would greatly appreciate that. So overall, I think that our trip is coming to an end. The only thing left is head back to Boston, and I do intend to do a debrief and a just overall reflection on how the hikes went over in Hawaii and with Mauna Loa, also in Australia with Mount Kuziko, and then here in Tanzania for Mount Kilimanjaro. So I'll be putting those videos together as well, and the content for that. But so for now, I am going to relax and sit back. And once I board the plane, I'm going to relax and enjoy my 2-part flight for about 20 hours to Boston. Thank you guys again. I hope that you have a great time. And for those who are actually watching these in real time, have a happy holidays.